Today, Trump lashed out at air traffic controllers who stayed home because they aren't getting paid. He wrote, "I am not happy with you. You will have a negative mark, at least in my mind, against your record if you want to leave service in the near future. Please do not hesitate to do so with no payment or severance of any kind." So now Trump's ordered his attorney general to investigate Democrat ties to Jeffrey Epstein, which is like Diddy ordering an investigation into why there were so many bottles of baby oil in his house.
We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats.
That's right. All his friends were Democrats. All his friends are Democrats, including this one. That right there, yeah. That's when he was a Democrat. Look at all the smiles. This photo is everything you need to know about Donald Trump in one shot. There's no evidence, by the way, that Bill Clinton has ever been to Epstein Island. Every one of Jeffrey Epstein's emails, or even one, says Clinton was never, ever there. Never. And there's no evidence Trump was on the island either. But the emails between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell very clearly say Trump spent hours with one of Epstein's victims.
The more Trump tried constructing his grand political image with all the seriousness of a royal proclamation, the more Kimmel described him with the energy of a carnival mascot determined to convince the world that he's running the entire parade. Every attempt at seriousness turned into comedic fuel. Every attempt at gravitas turned into slapstick. Every intimidating pose became a full-on comedic monologue waiting to be shredded.
Trump's negative job rating is at 63% right now. This is reportedly the line for the food bank at the Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas. There was a big spike in military families having to line up to get food, which is completely insane. The same was true for our men and women overseas. The Army even posted and then unposted a list on their website of food banks in Germany where Americans working on our base there could get assistance. All because our politicians are busy measuring each other's veins.
And just as the smoke from that takedown settled, RFK Jr.'s turn arrived without warning.
And Trump sat right next to him listening to all this. Listen, Trump's favorite food is toxins. His blood type is honey mustard. He's not gonna, I'm glad RFK's working on this. None of it is gonna get done. When Trump finally figures out he's trying to take away his Doritos, mark my words, Bobby is out and Diddy is in. That's right. It's not just the military he's trying to starve out. Trump is also doing his best to cut off SNAP benefits for civilians. I think I figured out why Trump hates SNAP so much. I think it's because his fingers are too small to do it. Trump is, maybe if they change the name. In order to combat this, we set up a big, beautiful food bank in our parking lot. So we've been collecting donations on behalf of two great organizations, St. Joseph Center and the LA Food Bank.
Kimmel broke down RFK Jr.'s logic, like a scientist testing a hypothesis that gravity only applies when convenient. The image of RFK Jr. navigating politics became an extravagant circus routine, balancing on a tightrope while juggling conspiracy theories and swatting at imaginary critics with motivational posters.
And so it begins. And so what begins? I mean, seriously, what is that supposed to mean? What would motivate him to post, and so it begins at almost midnight? What would compel him to contact his social media guy, Dan Scavino, that late at night to say, Dan, I need you to post, and so it begins. All caps, Mr. President. Yeah, all caps, you idiot. And put a ... in front of it.
RFK Jr. looked like someone who sweats conspiracy energy, drinks for hydration. Kimmel wasn't trying to be mean. He was trying to survive the comedy potential without combusting. The jokes escalated. The sarcasm sharpened. The crowd roared. And the universe probably shook its head and whispered, they walked right into that one. He shifted again, showing how each man reshapes criticism in his own exaggerated universe.
Mr. President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton?
That's right. Bill Clinton should immediately resign as President of the United States. One of the emails, the one that got the most attention this weekend, referred to Trump, quote, blowing a person named...
But Kimmel wasn't finished. He turned to the absurdity of their supporters, without insulting real people, but by dramatizing how the candidates wish their followers behaved. Trump dreams of crowds fainting at the sight of him. RFK Jr. imagines fans decoding cryptic messages hidden in his speeches. Trump imagines headlines announcing him as the single greatest human contribution to Earth. RFK Jr. imagines documentaries praising him for uncovering secrets that never existed. The whole thing became an opera of delusion, and Kimmel was the conductor. As the takedown progressed, Kimmel's dramatic performance worked like an avalanche. Unstoppable, chaotic, hilarious. The comedy didn't rely on insults, it relied on exaggeration. Masterful exaggeration. The type that makes the audience laugh because it sounds impossible, yet somehow familiar. Kimmel circled back around for one final round of destruction. Trump got portrayed as someone who could ruin a trivial situation by demanding dramatic fanfare that absolutely no one asked for. Walking into a restaurant, Trump imagines a parade. Ordering food, Trump expects a standing ovation for choosing the right menu item. And when the imaginary applause doesn't happen, it's the universe's fault.
This was not a good night for the president. Everything he touched was a loser. Trump hasn't been this embarrassed since he found out there was a Donald Trump Jr. But don't worry. If you're tired of all the losing, fear not. He's got an excuse. In fact, he's got two of them. He wrote, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. Now, if Republicans had won and he wasn't on the ballot, would he take credit for that? Oh, yes, he definitely would, but he lost. And then he posted this. He posted, and so it begins, which was either a response to Mamdani winning the mayoral race or he just sat down.
Then RFK Jr., the man Kimmel depicted as someone who cannot observe anything without spiraling into a detective montage. Someone sneezes, must be a clue. A dog barks, coded signal. Slightly cold weather, undeniable proof that something massive is happening behind the scenes. In Kimmel's dramatization, RFK Jr. doesn't live in a world of problems. He lives in a world of riddles written by invisible authors. By the time Kimmel dropped the last joke, the comedic rubble left behind was massive. Trump left in a cloud of ego glitter he couldn't sweep up. RFK Jr. left buried under binders full of imaginary clues. The stage might as well have been smoking. The audience looked overwhelmed. Not because the takedown was cruel, but because it was too funny to process in real time. And he turned the surreal landscape of modern politics into late-night entertainment so sharp that it cut through screens. No tension remained on that stage. No dignity remained for the targets. No silence survived. The comedy was too colossal, too dramatic, too well-crafted to recover from instantly. Anyone watching knew they had just witnessed a late-night annihilation engraved in the Comedy Hall of Fame. Jimmy Kimmel walked away. Trump walked away in search of applause that only exists in his imagination. RFK Jr. walked away convinced someone somewhere must be hiding a clue. And the rest of the world walked away with abdominal soreness from laughing too hard. Not every takedown shakes the comedy world, but this one didn't just shake it, it rearranged the furniture. And that is why, no matter where politics goes, no matter who steps onto the stage next, no matter which candidate builds an entire identity out of ego or paranoia, there will always be comedians waiting like demolition crews with microphones. And Jimmy Kimmel just proved that when the moment comes, the wreckage will be spectacular.